Well, welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Basin, and joining me yet again is Jason, feeling green.
Yeah.
Jason Juggling J. Ford.
And I'm not banned.
Yeah, you weren't banned. You were
that's the topic of the last 2 weeks.
The word banned.
You banned me, and then
Russia got banned?
Russia. That's speaking of me.
But you're back, Carter.
I snuck you.
Oh,
So you know there's going to be some repercussions.
Marcus coming looking for you. He told me last night. Tell Jake just keep my seat warm.
As long as he stays a zebra, we're all right. He switched from a zebra. Well, it's a zebra now. It used to be an eagle. So go figure.
It's going from eagle to zebra to colt.
That ain't happening.
Don't be surprised.
Three-legged colts. But anyway, let's get to our sports story.
Well, we are going to talk a bit about the Russian athletes being banned from the Winter Olympic Games. We're going to look at our picks for this coming up weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's going to be much, much more. But let's first get a message from our sponsor and come back to talk about just those things that are happening around the world.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber-to-the-home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber-to-the-home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber-to-the-home network.
Well, Jay, following the decision that was handed down, what was it? Day before yesterday?
Monday.
Yeah. No, Tuesday. Day before yesterday. Russia being banned. They've now come out with a full published list of reasons behind the International Olympic Association's decision in banning Russia from the games, and a lot has to do with the Sochi Olympics 2014, where I think it was something like 69 Russian athletes that were found to have been doping and so forth. So they made it a priority. They literally made sure that they wanted to control what these Russians were doing, and in doing so, they banned them because it was state-sponsored. Got a chance to speak with Patrick Singleton, who is a IOC Athlete Commission member. He's also a member of WADA. So he wears different hats, and he gives us a different perspective from the inside looking out, but also trying to make sure that he stays neutral in when he's wearing these different hats. But let's get the interview with Patrick Singleton from the IOC. Patrick, as part of the IOC Athletes Committee, what did you think of the decision that was made or released today by the IOC?
Yeah, it's a very good decision. I just spoke to Angela, our chair of the IOC Athlete Commission. She's on the executive board, who took the decision. It was based off of the Schmidt and Oswald Commission reports that were released today. It was a long time coming. They've been looking at this for 18 months now. WADA has come out with their own reports, and we actually told the Deputy Prime Minister last week that they weren't coming back in, at least according to WADA. The IOC has come out and defended the integrity of sport. It sends a very good message. The Russian NOC will not be accredited for the Pyeongchang Olympic Games. Their Deputy Prime Minister will not be accredited. No officials from the Russian Ministry of Sport will be accredited, and Russian athletes will have to march and compete under a neutral flag, the Olympic flag. The Olympic anthem will be played, not the Russian anthem, and they need to clean up their act. And they have got to adhere to certain guidelines, both from WADA and from the IOC. They have got to pay us about $15 million to set up an independent agency. They've got to do a whole lot of things before they can come back into the Olympic movement. And I think today's message sends a very clear message to Mr. Putin and to his Ministry of Sport that we're not going to tolerate this kind of interference in the Olympic movement.
As part of the athletes committee, what assistance can you guys provide the ones that prove to be clean that still want to compete?
Yeah, so So we believe that due process should take place, obviously. We believe that clean athletes should not be penalized. If Russian athletes can prove that they're clean, that they will be allowed to take part, but under the neutral Olympic flag. I think they'll be called, Olympic Russian athletes or something like that, but it will not be under the Russian NOC. The IOC Athletes Commission has worked hand in hand with the IOC Executive Board. We are working on medal reallocations for the athletes that were denied their medals due to the systematic doping during the Sochi Olympic Games. We hope that these medal reallocations can take place during the Pyeongchang Olympic Games, so that the athletes that were denied their medals get a chance to experience the correct medal. It will depend on the court arbitration for sport and the hearings that are taking place right now. There's a whole lot that needs to take place, and we only have about 62 days before the start of the Olympic Games in Pyeongchang. So a lot of work still to be done, but this sends a very strong message to Russia and to countries that might try to manipulate the system that we will not stand for this.
There's been a lot said about doping in sport, and obviously the Russians took it to a new level because it was state-sponsored of sorts.
Right.
But athletes that may decide, hey, I could try it, get away with it, I'm not totally suspended. These things are changing now. Are they changing for the better of the sport, and what message does it send to anyone who hasn't done it as of yet but may want to try it?
Well, look, doping has been a problem in sport way back to the days when Plato was writing about it. The issue today is that it became state-sponsored, that it was systematic within one country to cheat the system. It's different if it's an individual athlete or a coach, and we don't like that, and we have systems that try to catch for it. But the dopers are always 2 steps ahead, and it's one of the reasons why the samples are collected and stored for 10 years, so that science has a chance to catch up. At least scientific testing has a chance to catch up. But in this particular case, they beat the system by simply swapping out the samples. But the FSB, the former KGB, found a way to unlock the bottles, and it was horrible. And what they did, destroys the integrity of sport. And the IOC president today has drawn a red line, and good on him. We're really proud of him.
Where does sport and the IOC go from here?
Sport is a great equalizer, right? It brings countries together. If you look, we're the only ones that can get a sort of a United Nations resolution, which everyone signs up to, right? We have passed this charter a few weeks ago in which North Korea agreed to, Russia, China, Japan, South Korea, USA. Sport is an equalizer. It brings peace to countries. It allows for hope, and doping is always going to be there. Cheating is always going to be on the periphery, and we just have to find ways to try to stamp it out and ensure that sport is clean and that clean athletes have a fair playing field.
What does this say about the Winter Olympic Games for 2018?
Yeah, hopefully it's going to be clean. Hopefully it'll be a great Olympic Games, and hopefully they get lots of snow and it's cold and we get great sport.
Well, you heard from Patrick. Obviously, a lot going on behind the scenes, but we wait to see, because they do have an appeal.
Yeah.
A chance to appeal.
And I think the main thing was just the comprehensive investigation, not rushing through it.
Right.
I think it's a hard thing when you're talking about banning a country. You got to go past personal to systemic.
Right.
And that's what they have found.
Right.
Russia to be systemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I say personal because 69 people is just out of all 69 people saying, I'm going to do it by myself.
Right.
Well, 60 or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So it starts looking, okay, now something's really not right here. Mm-hmm. So let's dig a little bit deeper. Let's dig a little bit deeper. So now you know that there's higher level, what we call this, levels to this. Mm-hmm. And I think the appropriate punishment has been handed down.
Yeah.
Not just for the athletes, because the athletes will automatically get, punished regardless.
Right.
Courtesy of law.
Yeah.
Regardless. Mm-hmm. But something had to be done for the country.
Yeah.
For systemic abuse.
To make sure that no other country decides, we can get it. They got away with it,
right.
We can get away with it.
So what I was hoping that it would come down to something like this, because you didn't want the athletes who represented Russia, who worked clean, be punished.
Right. And they had that opportunity.
It was there.
Right.
Now I'm pretty sure they were all, with their hands, sitting on their hands because, and I say this because a lot of some athletes, this might be the one and only shot at an Olympics.
Yeah.
And they have probably waited all their life or trained all their life and finances. We've heard all these stories.
Right.
We know what it takes for our athletes to go to the games. So I'm glad it came down. I'm pretty sure about when you've heard, the information from Mr. Singleton. I don't think the appeal's gonna be successful in that sense.
Right.
But also looking at the IOC side of it, they had to do something not too drastic, and I say this here because sponsorship.
Yes.
And other countries pulling out.
Well, Russia has said that they will not boycott. They will not stop their athletes who pass the test. They will still allow them to go and participate. And there are opportunities for those athletes to do
I'll
so.
tell you, Earl, I wonder, and we can go off a different sport a bit, but I wonder from Russia's point of view if the World Cup has something to do with this also.
What, not banning the athletes?
Well, no. Sort of accepting.
Oh yeah, because they're in the money next year. They are in the money next year, brother.
So if they come off bad in this,
Yes. Which it is bad, but don't make it worse.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking, and I'm talking not on the sports side.
Right.
I'm talking about on the money side
yeah.
with the sponsorship. Because if you make this situation worse, right?
You can start seeing people, the big boys, pulling out, even though it's the World Cup.
Even though it's the World Cup.
I don't want to be associated with anything in Russia.
And the World Cup is the biggest sporting event. Period.
It was funny you say that because there'll be a lot of teams licking their lips at the World Cup because every day from I think June 1st until 2 days after the team gets eliminated, the club in which the player has been playing for a 2-year period gets $8,000 a day.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
A day.
Yeah.
And that's just because you've helped to develop this player. But you have to have signed for that club, be playing for that club for 2 years. I don't know what the deal is if you just sign for a new club. What happens to the club if they just let you go after, say, 7 or 8 years? I don't know how that works. But reading into it, it's any player that's been with the club for 2 years, starting June 1st of next year, during the World Cup until that country is eliminated. 2 days after that, they get $8,000 per player.
And it's glad that we starting to see some of this money being distributed, and actually knowing that it's being distributed.
Yes.
We know what FIFA.
Yes. Trademark. Silver, brass.
Yeah. So to hear some transparency and where some of this money is going, and that's not to say that they don't push money into other regions.
Right.
But we've had this conversation before, when you normally hear about sums of money being dispersed, normally gets dispersed to a lot of the big boys.
Yeah.
You just said any player.
That's right.
So that could mean from the smallest country that's in the World Cup.
That's right.
In the World Cup, their players who play for a local club will receive
that
money.
funding. Yeah. They'll receive that funding. Could you imagine? Just it.
Man. Well, I got the eyes off the good. Let's get to this CONCACAF region, man. Come on, guys.
Something.
We got to make it happen.
But there's incentives always out there. I'm pretty sure that Mark Reid and his team are now looking at what they received or what the association received from the World Cups, because each country receives proceeds from the World Cup.
Regardless.
So right now you should be looking at, okay, where do we need funding? What do we need it for? Do we need it for infrastructure? Do we need it for... There's got to be a balance. And I say that because what you get from FIFA, you want to make sure you can turn that around and it starts making you money as well.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right because, and not just here. And I don't want to make it seem like we're just bashing I've seen it other places too. Sometimes a lot of money goes to maybe a stadium. But just use the World Cup for example.
Yes.
Money go towards a stadium, and then when the World Cup's gone,
The grass gets high.
ask Brazil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ask Brazil.
They had this another fire at the Velodrome, the third one since the Olympics has been over.
Ask Brazil.
Because they don't even use it now.
Ask Brazil.
Yeah.
And some of that money was funded.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's just an example, and like I said, it's got to be a balance in development of players
Yes.
and your programs.
Right.
Also for some infrastructure and facilities because
Yes.
that's also help the players and facilities
Yeah.
and like. But you also want those facilities to grow
Yeah.
and have a life, not a 2-3 year lifespan, and then 20 years of dormant and then implosion.
Yeah. Yeah.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you'll get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
RJ, now to your mind-boggling
It's never mind-boggling. Still before
football picks time.
Still before Christmas, man.
Yeah, you're 2 points behind.
That's good.
2 points behind. But
Chuck tells me, "Hey, where you going?"
I ain't getting nowhere.
I know that.
I'm keeping you in suspense. Keeping you in suspense.
So you better hurry up. You better run.
This your run week. This your run.
That's my run week.
This your run.
This is easy week.
Okay. Yeah.
All easy picks this week.
All easy picks. Well, we're going to start off with Saturday night's match. It's going to be Flanagan's Onions taking on the Denver Town Hornets at
Easy.
BAA Field.
Easy, Tom. Easy. You know you gotta think about this. Come on, man. You know you ain't gotta think about this.
Following their display on Sunday, I'm going to do it Denver Town.
We knew that. This would probably be your biggest pick.
Devonshire Cougars are at home to North Village Rams. I'm going to take a draw.
I'm gonna take the Village.
Okay.
I think they're finally working some things out, and I think now's the time where it's Keyshawn Bean is an integral part where he's can give his 100 no matter what. He's always gonna be out for the fight, even though Cougars are home. But we've talked about this before. These town teams, all these fields are basically home.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no home field advantage.
True.
You know, a lot of village people grew up around
Yeah.
Duck Hill,
Yeah.
and the like. So there's no really home field. Remember, North Village Club used to be where down the hill.
Down the hill. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't really see as much. Normally, normally I go with the home team advantage, but I don't see there is much of an advantage there.
I'll go one up.
And the inclusion of Orande. Has he played yet?
Yeah, I came off the bench.
Yeah. Impact?
Not really.
Not really. No sign of Alan Douglas Jr. yet.
They had a break this week. I do believe he was trained. I was told. But we have to wait for game day.
So with that, I can't go off of anything but the recent form of North Village or Cougars.
Okay, cool. PHC Zebras are home to Young Men Social Club. You can say it for both of us.
PAC.
Thank you.
This might get ugly. Ain't no
Well, last weekend, the friendship match. I watched the first half of Dendytown and Social Club. 4-0. But the match ended 4-0. I didn't see the second half, so I can't say whether or not Dendytown took the foot off the gas or Social Club changed by some stretch of the imagination. But I think with PHC's fitness and speed will create
We've said this.
a nightmare.
We've said this all year.
Yeah.
And if they're down 3-0, 4-0 the first half to PAC, it's gonna be ugly because the fitness. See, you just said it is an ongoing wave of tournament. And if Young Men's Social Club cannot match it,
Yeah, it's gonna be a struggle.
it can get ugly.
Well, this one should be a challenging one.
Yeah, this
Crossroads are home
this
to the Somerset Trojans.
Woo! This is where I'm on the fence. Boy,
You me go first?
I know where I'm going, but go ahead.
I'm going with Crossroads.
I know you are. Hey, you know what? I'm going to go Crossroads too. I'm going to take the home team.
Now, I got this running joke with a former cup match captain of Somerset, Campbell Simon.
Oh, okay.
And he's always teasing me about St. George's will have the first female to play cup match. Right? So, I managed to speak to him last evening. I said, hey, Somerset Trojans might have the first female playing for him in the Shea Darrow. She's coming back.
Right.
She might have to put on because she can find the net. Right now, Somerset's struggling to find the net. So, hey, anything's possible. Yo, give your boy a call.
Yeah. But it won't surprise me if Somerset wins, though.
It won't. It won't.
It won't surprise me if Somerset wins. It's
There's
just,
a lot to think about.
I'm just going to go with the home side on this particular. And that's my only reason for going, because we've seen both teams be very inconsistent. So, flip a coin.
Yeah. The good thing for Crossroads is they've been scoring goals.
Yeah. But also,
Somerset have struggled.
yeah, but also conceding.
Conceding, yes.
So there's no,
Yeah.
there's no padding.
Right. Now, I know you're not getting the home team for this last Premier Division game.
No.
Boulevard Blazers are at home to Robin Hood.
Inconsistency I just talked about.
Yeah.
You know, just when we thought that they may have, got a good victory a few weeks ago.
Right.
It ended up being a blip.
Yeah.
So
Because they beat Dendytown, didn't they? Yeah. Beat Dendytown 3-2. Yeah, it ended up being a blip because their next few games they have relatively struggled to make anything out of anything. Lost to North Village last week in the New Friendship. Struggled against 7-0 against PHC. So
that's not a struggle.
well,
yeah. And we didn't see that coming.
no,
We did not see that coming. So hopefully they can find some stability. I think that's what they're really looking for now. And this is probably more of a, I'm thinking now for going into the break, survive the break, and survive relegation.
right. Which I think if
They have the talent to do.
right, if they sit where they are now, and then in the second half of the season are able to beat Crossroads, Flanagan's, and Somerset,
Yeah,
they're safe. That'll be their target.
That's their target.
Yeah, that'll be their target. And keeping you guys on the field. That's the other key.
But that happens when you start
Losing. Yeah. Now let's go to the first division. You're good for the home team for this one. St. David's are at home to Devonshire Colts.
Now they've had a blip in losing lately,
Yes, they have.
but I think they'll rebound this week for victory at home.
At home against Devonshire Colts.
Colts.
They'll take their last week loss on the best Colts to take it out on the other Colts.
And and I think that series this year now is 1-1.
1-1. Yeah.
Keep in mind.
And I normally take some licks for what I just said.
Oh yeah.
Take it easy, Ray.
Yeah, but there's gonna be the grudge match, which will be the second half of the league.
Mm-hmm.
They get to meet again.
Yes.
I think that match will be
Edson Davis.
Edson Davis?
We lost. No, being St. George's.
Is it
We
George?
lost over St. Davis. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lost 1-0 over St. Davis. And then beat them 1-0 over St. Davis.
Be interesting.
Yeah, yes indeed. Then we're going to go with this matchup that will turn the table upside down if the Southampton Rangers beat BAA at Southampton Oval.
I'm going to the home side.
You're going to go with Southampton Rangers. I'm actually going to go with BAA.
Yeah. It's hard for me to, you know what? Like I said, 'cause now I'm just thinking about it. BAA is still undefeated.
Yes. Well, no, only Patrick beat them.
Well,
but
Patrick
beat them at.
You know what? I'm gonna switch. Yeah, I just remember BA is the PAC of this division.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to. I've really never done this, but I'll go with BA in a close one though.
Mm.
This is gonna probably be
2-1, 3-2.
3-2. I'm figuring 3-2.
Yeah.
Rangers are gonna score.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna score.
Yeah.
I just feel that BA has got the talent to
Mhm.
edge them. And it might be a late goal.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Let me see you go with this one. Let me see if you got the home team with this one, bro. Come on, let's go. Because this used to be a derby.
Yeah, but the home team probably wouldn't go with the home team in this one because it's Island Rangers taking on Paget Lions at Malabar.
Yeah, the Lions.
The roaring, man.
They're roaring.
And I know they'll have one ear and eye on what's going on at Southampton Oval and making sure they need to take care of the business at Malabar.
Yeah, and also, when I was away watching some of the transfers,
Mm-hmm.
like what y'all moved from Dennytown to Paget, actually playing. Diageo Hart
Right.
playing in the midfield.
Yes.
I even asked him, so, hold on, why? Because he came up through Dennytown.
Right.
And it's, sometimes it is hard for guys that came up through a team since, I want to say since birth,
Right.
to make this change now. It says,
Right.
go up, I stay closer.
It's all about convenience, though. Yeah.
He stays at the end of the order.
Yeah. Training's just right there, playing's just right there. Why would I go across somewhere? Yeah. Makes sense.
And they're on, and it doesn't hurt that they're playing pretty
But
good.
do it, yeah.
So, be interesting what he can do for them,
Mm-hmm.
especially on that side of the midfield.
Right.
He was being used a bit here, but be interesting to see how the chemistry, and we talked about this before, of a lot of teams, when you do have these late transfers and bringing down in guys, that means somebody's got to sit now too.
Right.
So how do they take that?
Well, they would have had a good look at those players in the last game because remember, Paget played Hamilton Parish in the Shield on Sunday, and most of their top players sat on the side. Stubble was on the bench.
Right.
Start the match.
Also the other goal scorer,
Curtis. Yeah. These guys are on the bench, giving these guys an opportunity because they were playing Parish. You look at the scoreline, you say they struggled. They struggled. In a sense, they did because these guys don't play together on a regular basis. Right. So it took a little while, but when they needed it, D came off the bench. Said, hold on, give me the ball. I'll do what I'm going to do. We'll advance to the next round. But having that opportunity to play, they start knowing each other now. So if that ever happens again, and I'm pretty sure the coach will look to do the same thing this week. You're playing Island Rangers. Yes, you want to win, but also you know your depth of your squad isn't that big, so you have to give guys opportunities when there's
and make them still feel the part of the team.
Yeah.
Because they're not just coming to train and
make up the numbers.
Make up the numbers on the bench.
Right.
Right. You got when there is an opportunity to rotate some players in and out, you've got to do that.
Got to do it. Right.
And for a coaching side of it, you've got to come up with a system that's going to protect these players and put them in put the team in a good position.
Yeah, because if you look at it, you got an aging front line.
That's right.
That they can use these breaks.
Yeah.
To recover from whatever injuries they've got. And they still stay hungry when they come back. And remember, it's only they play next week is Shield and Friendship semifinals, and then you're off. If you're especially the first division teams, you're off. So you could afford to give these guys a break.
So if you think about it, this thing is, if they would have obviously I'm pretty sure a couple of weeks ago said, you know what, we're gonna play twice in a month.
Right. Yeah.
And we're telling you this here. We're targeting this.
Yeah.
Da da da.
Yeah.
So we just need those games when we do play. We need this out of it because that's gonna boost us forward.
Right.
I want to go back to because I think I want to go back to that last. We talked about the last game. Southampton Rangers would be. And I think you know what we were just talking about Danny Town earlier, but I don't think nothing's really been said about the job Joe Wilkinson's been doing.
Yeah.
I wish my mate Kyle Lakendow was here to talk, elaborate a bit more. But it's been quiet.
Yeah.
It's going under the radar. The success of Southampton Rangers. And not mentioning Jamal Wilkinson.
But the thing is, I think their first game of the season they played Devonshire Colts up at Police Field, and it didn't no draw, and people did miles for
yes.
I think he's got one other draw and a loss.
Yeah.
But most of that stuff has stopped.
Yeah.
Because he's been consistent. They've been consistent.
They've been consistent.
They're scoring goals. They're very, very.
The last few years, we couldn't say that with Southampton Rangers.
No.
But since they've been consistent, nobody's attached
Joe Mon to that success. Yeah.
I just thought I'd just throw that out.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's times people on the show will call him for your name, Joe Mon. There's times we just need to step
You're getting like that, like it was me. I kept asking the question, so now what do we do? Because if you look at it, nobody's talked about Kwame Steve.
No.
And then you tell
Yeah.
You know, so.
But not only that, when you look at that scenario, I think there was more of expecting more players to come to St. John's Road, where there's actually been an
Exodus, yeah.
where Kwame has actually had to play, and the games that he hasn't
He
played,
was suited up on Sunday.
and the games that he hasn't played, they haven't fared well.
Yeah, he was suited up on Sunday, but on the side.
Yeah.
But they were 4-0 up, so he could take off his
He
stuff.
can take off.
Yeah. But it's games where he's going to be needed because he can guide better on the field as opposed to off the field giving this instruction.
So it's gonna be interesting, like you said. We have to have another show because I've heard this again. You know, one thing when I travel, I used to hear Bermudians speak, and especially with sports, we go to that word loyalty to your club. And when I say that, because the man I'm sitting next to, there's nothing he wears besides blue. He's probably the last person in his age group that would probably ever do that, but. I know none of those boys down there playing with the club now. They were in the club.
Yeah.
They were red sneakers if they had to.
Yeah.
Now, the president probably won't let them wear their cup match.
No.
But in saying that, so that's another conversation we have to have regarding players and clubs, local clubs.
Right.
Next game is
The blue and blue.
Blue and blue against Wolves.
At Devonshire Rack.
You sure?
No, I'm sorry. No, they're playing Somerset Eagles. Hampton Eagles.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hampton Eagles.
Oh, St. George's Hampton Eagles. Hey.
Well, you got mine.
I know who you are. Hi. Yeah.
You want to skip that one and come back?
No. Because I'm the good one.
Who?
I'm good one.
You getting the Eagles?
No.
O's.
St.
Okay.
George's.
Welcome aboard.
You wanted to say that.
Welcome aboard, brother.
It's only because of the home team. If this match was up at Whitehill Field, I'd have been Eagles.
Okay.
I'm talking Eagles.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Eagles.
Juggling Jason has taken St. George's. The final first division game is Wolves versus Hamilton Parish.
All right, so Knocky Wells and his Burnley teammates. This one did nice game. I think we got Well, I mean,
If the referee shows up, it's an official game.
I mean, oh man, this was painful. Man.
Do we have to pick?
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, what's it was?
Why the Wolves lose to Paris by well, clear as Hermitage Road down, like go around. I tell you. Whoever's coaching our Wolves right now, if you lose to Hamilton Parish, dig a hill and build a tunnel and go somewhere else. Who's coaching our Wolves now?
I know the guy.
Well, that might be good for him if he loses. Nobody knows. Nobody. Just, no jokes aside, it should be easy
For Wolves. I'm going to go with Wolves as well.
And I say this here because no laughing matter. I'm still praying that Hamilton Parish lasts the season with players coming out and competing.
Right. Well, they would have had a different look at it on Sunday
Yeah.
due to the result.
Yeah.
Regardless of how they played, the result.
Regardless how they're going to feel that they had a game.
They had a chance in the match, right? So if they take that mental attitude to that charade,
you said it. They had to be doing something so good. Okay. Sometimes even though you're doing something that's good, it doesn't have the result that you want.
right,
But they've got to feel pretty confident of the setup
right,
because Paget Lions has been running out.
yeah,
So, and it's not just two players that were on the bench
right,
that were supplying all the goals for Paget also.
Right.
So they gotta feel some type of confidence coming into this game. But it's saying that Wolves shouldn't really have any problem.
yeah.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
This weekend should be, hopefully, for Bermuda, Bermudians and the Key West should be a good one. Hopefully, Burnley have two matches, one against Watford, one against Stoke. The Watford game's on Saturday, the Stoke game's on Tuesday night. There's news out of the Burnley camp that one of their strikers is going to be out for quite some time due to a knee injury. Opens the door for Niki and others. I'm not saying Niki is the only one that's going to walk through that door, but here's an opportunity over the next 4 or 5 days to see if Niki will be first included in the team, and then secondly get an opportunity to get on the pitch.
Well, Earl, I'm not sure how good you are, but if you rewind the tape, as they would say, back to the early part of the season, when he was introduced as a Burnley player, and we were trying to figure out when he might be.
Christmas was the time.
I said it.
Christmas was the time. You did.
I said it. December is the month because of the month of games, and we talked about injuries, players needing a rest. There is several, I want to say 7 to 8 matches in a very 3-week span, 4-week span. So
and this is only the start, so
this
you
is
remember,
exactly.
they've got quite a few ways to go up
Yeah.
until January. I think it's going to be January 1st.
Yeah.
This is the Sun. They'll play the Friday and then they'll play the Monday.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of football.
Yeah, and if you look at teams like Burnley, and I say that like Burnley because, see, you look at the top tier teams, the Man Cities, United, or whatever. Those teams are used to playing those 2 matches a week. Just had those games yesterday with Champions League.
Yeah.
So you got the Champions League, the Europa League, you got all these other different competitions. Whereas the Burnleys or whatever, they're not really playing those competitions, so they haven't really gotten used to. I'm traveling,
right?
And people don't realize how much the travel
Takes out of
It
it.
takes out of you because it was the last time you laid in your bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and the weather.
Some degree temperature right now. Yeah. In England, it's freezing. I mean, watching some of the Champions League matches yesterday, to see the amount of clothing that the spectators had on, I'm saying...
I tell everybody, that's when you know when it's cold. When the locals look cold,
Yes. Yeah.
it's cold.
It's cool. And that's their weather. So
Right,
they don't need me.
See, they're climatized.
Yeah.
But when they are cold, just imagine.
Yeah. I watch it from the hotel room
Exactly.
on television.
Overlooking the field.
Yeah. And not up against the glass, because that'd be cool. But yeah, Jay, we're gonna as we come to the end of another Digicel Sports Show, we're gonna keep an eye on this Olympic stuff, because remember, we have two people trying to qualify for the Winter Olympics in Tucker Murphy and Matthew Lejour, and we have to keep up to date with what's going on, because it will obviously it will affect both of them, as there would be Russians taking part in those two events, the freestyle skating and the cross country skiing. It was 6 athletes banned from cross country skiing from Russia just last month. 2 of them were medal winners at the last Olympics. So it's affecting everyone and everywhere, and in these fields, because when you compete, you want to compete against someone has not had an advantage of sorts.
Yeah.
Other than
You can be a fair player.
right, other than you might have a better training facility, but we still have to put in the same amount of work. But if you're taking a substance that's enhancing your program and your ability, it takes away from the athlete part.
And the whole mindset of the games itself, why they actually have the games.
Right.
So
Yeah.
before we leave, I just want to make special mention for the youngsters. Definitely log on to Islandstats.com. You've done a great job of covering some of our youngsters here and abroad. Obviously, this week with the primary schools.
Oh yeah.
All the pictures, man. All the pictures of the
Netball.
football and netball and everything. But also last week with the youngsters overseas motocross. Doing quite well. I've seen a lot of video footage of those guys, Jair, and not even just Jair, but Jonah, Bullet.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bullet. But to see these guys, and they're of the age now, Earl, that they're not waiting on somebody to get footage for them. They're in the social media, so they're posting stuff. So now, if you start following our youngsters,
Yeah.
right? If you start following our youngsters, they'll get you in a little bit more action to see what they're doing behind the scenes. But also the young ladies who are playing basketball who are doing quite well. So I'm glad that the technology, they're taking on the technology, but also sharing it to the world.
Yeah.
I think that's what one of been our main things for how many years now, is to share and expose our local talent to the world.
Because we have a lot.
We have a lot.
And they have a lot to offer.
They have a lot to offer. So sometimes we can't get everything in this show because
Right.
it's only our show.
Yeah.
But I think it's also, it would be remiss of us if we don't highlight it. Every time we get a chance to highlight our youngsters, we get to highlight our youngsters.
Actually, you know what, Jay? Let's look back at the week we've had in sports that I've covered. Raquel Evans competed in the Sail Melbourne Sailing Regatta on the Australian waters. Competing in the Finn class, Evans finished 9th out of 18 boats. Due to weather, Evans and the rest of the fleet could only manage to complete 6 races. In friendship preliminary action at the police field yesterday, the Dendy Town Hornets scored 4 times in the first half to advance to the quarterfinals with a 4-0 win over Young Manchester Club. Ian Cokewood scored 2, as well as Angelo Simmons for the Dendy Town Hornets. In the other match, it was Boulevard Blazers 1, North Village Rams 3. In Shield preliminary action at Lords and St. David's, visitors St. George's Colts defeated St. David's 1-0 with a 68th minute goal from Gerasino Bassett. In the other Shield match, it was Paget Lions 2, Hamilton Parish 1. Mailbox Unlimited Winter Age Group Swimming Championships concluded yesterday. The 3-day event saw 7 records broken. The first record was broken on Friday night during the 13 to 14 girls 800-meter freestyle when Taylor White touched the wall in a time of 9:26:37. Brian Desmond then broke the 13 to 14 boys 1500-meter freestyle, clocking 17:02:23. Sam Williamson broke the 13 to 14 boys 200-meter breaststroke record when he touched the wall in a time of 2:34:86. Logan Watson-Brown clocked a time of 4:34:63, breaking the 13 to 14 girls 400-meter freestyle record. Sam Williamson broke a 23-year-old record in the 13 to 14 boys 100-meter breaststroke when he touched the wall in a time of 1:10:83, breaking Trevor Nelson's record of 1:11:23 set back on November 1st, 1994. Keegan Woolley broke the 13 to 14 boys 50-meter breaststroke record with a time of 32:18. Jack Harvey, Emma Kittleson, Finn Mosley, and Allison Shearer set a new record in the 4x200-meter mixed gender relay. Nicholas Kime and Rachel Barnes are the 2017 Bermuda Squash Rackets Association Club's male and female champions. Kime defeated John Fletcher in the men's open final in straight games 11-7, 11-5, 11-6, while Barnes defended her ladies open title as she defeated Sarah Nicholson 12-10, 11-5, 11-2. Trot and Tahira Butterfield represented the University of Albany at the Boston University season opening indoor track meet. Trot competed in the women's long jump, finishing 5th in flight 1 with a top leap of 4.94 meters, and that distance saw her finish 15th overall. Competing in the women's 60-meter dash preliminaries, Butterfield won Heat 1 to advance to the final with a time of 7.78. In the final, Butterfield went faster, clocking 7.70, finishing 5th. The 2017 Bermuda National Athletics Association cross-country season came to an end on Saturday at Ascot Park with the running of the cross-country championships. Chase Smith held off a strong challenge from Sean Trott to win the men's open race, clocking a time of 26:08. Trott was second in 26:23. The women's open was won by Gail Lindsay, who stopped the clock in a time of 24:46, with Kim McGyver second in 27:27. Smith and Martina Olszewski-Bell are the 2017 North Shore Medical Center Turkey Trot 10K male and female champions. Smith and second place finisher Tim Price ran side by side with just over 2 kilometers to go before Smith made his move, clocking a winning time of 35:45, with Price clocking 36:23. Olszewski-Bell ran alone in the ladies' field, finishing 9th overall, clocking 42:44. Melissa Luggie was the second female finisher and 13th overall, clocking 44:12. Second Bermuda cyclocross race of the season took place at Shelley Bay yesterday. Adam Kirk won the adult over 15 division race, with Ziani Burgess finishing second and Hans Hershey crossed the line third. Bermuda Hockey Federation triple header took place at the National Sports Center with 15 goals scored. The Budgies defeated the Pink Robins 4-1 in the opener, with Jasmine Patterson leading the way with 2 goals. Renee Greenslade and Cassia White added a goal each for the Budgies. Natasha Holman scored the lone goal for the Pink Robins. In other action, it was the Sandpipers 0, Ravens 5, Canaries 1, Mixed A-Team 4. In Senior League Netball at Bernard Park, it saw the Lindos Tigers defeat the Blazing Phoenix 32-22. Phoenix Heat got by Robin Hood 52-25. The Storm defeated the North Village Lady Rams white team 48-31. North Village Lady Rams defeated the Phoenix Flames 13-9 in under 16 division action, while in under 12 division play, the Storm defeated the Warriors 16-10, and the Phoenix Sparks defeated the North Village Lady Rams white team 10-3. The Bermuda Basketball Elite City League playoffs continued inside the Summersfield Academy Gymnasium with a doubleheader. In Game 1, the Falcons defeated the Marksmen by a score of 94-64. The Falcons were led to victory by Kevin Stevens, who scored 24 points. He had 6 rebounds, 10 assists, and 5 steals. The Marksmen were led by Dean Jones, who scored 22 points. He had 20 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 2 block shots. The other game saw the Hornets defeat the Lions 61-53. Week 9 of the Bermuda National Archery League took place at the Gull Point Archery Range in St. David's. Bernard Wade finished first with 315 points in the adult recurve division, while Jaden Roberts finished first with 300 points in the junior recurve division. William Pickering finished first with 326 points in the adult compound division, and David Siemens finished first with 315 points in the senior compound division. CONCACAF and FIFA referee instructors Victor Stewart and Rohan Thorborn from Jamaica are on island assisting the improvement of referees in Bermuda. Stewart, when asked about his second look at the officials on the island, stated,
"Well, if you look at it incrementally, the appointment of Tashawn to the FIFA list is one achievement that would have occurred, albeit it's not just this year that he started. He would have started before, but it finally culminated in this year. He being nominated this year. So there are some improvement. There are still a far way to go in terms of the number, and another sore point is the age grouping of the referees we have here. But I'm willing to work in tandem with the FA in order to assist in that regard."
Right. Kaya Lewis was named the St. Johnsbury Academy 2017 Girls Soccer Player of the Year. After winning the award, Lewis is quoted as saying, "It's an honor since I'm not the best soccer player. I try to put a lot of work into it so I don't let my teammates down. It's nice for my efforts to be recognized." End quote. Meanwhile, Bermuda Broadcasting Sports can confirm that Lionel Can was last night elected as the new president of the Bermuda Referees Association. Can replaces Anthony Bailey, who was elected as the association's treasurer, while Cassandra Trott was elected as the vice president, and Wendy Woodley remains the association's secretary. Youngsters Mateo Donawa and Tashawn Simons are also elected as executive committee members. Bermuda Football Association confirmed the 2017-18 Shield and Friendship quarterfinal draws and venues. On Sunday, December 17th, 4 doubleheaders will take place. BAA, PHC Stadium, Bernard Park, and the Devonshire Recreation Club will all host a Shield and a Friendship quarterfinal match. The Shield quarterfinals will get underway at noon with Southampton Rangers and Somerset Eagles going to battle at PHC Stadium, while Island Rangers will travel to BAA. Devonshire Colts and Paget Lions will battle at Bernard Park, with Wolves entertaining St. George's Colts at the Devonshire Recreation Club. The Friendship quarterfinal matches will get underway at 2:30, where the PHC Zebras will entertain the Somerset Trojans at the PHC Stadium. Devonshire Cougars will entertain Flanagan's Onions at the Devonshire Recreation Club, or Robin Hood are at home at the BAA Field to Crossroads. The North Village Rams will entertain Dandytown Hornets at Bernard Park. Elon and Elijah Daly both competed on day 1 of the 2017 Youth Swimming Cup in Canada, representing North York Aquatic Club. Elon Daly won the bronze medal competing in the girls' 12-year-old 800-meter freestyle, touching the wall in a time of 9:35.38. The boys' 11-year-old 1500-meter freestyle silver medal went to Elijah Daly, who was clocked at 18:54.65. The 65th Bermuda Goodwill Golf Tournament got underway yesterday, and the day proved to be a challenging windy day for the golfers. Day 1 saw play at Tuckers Point and Port Royal, with the highlight of the day being Kathy Carter of the Toronto Golf Club, who shot a hole-in-one on the number 4 at Tuckers Point. The longest drive at Port Royal was hit by Dwight Spence from Lakes Golf Club, while closest to the pin was Bob McBride from Wackabuck. The longest drive at Tuckers Point was hit by Bill Carr from Bedrock, while the ladies' longest drive was Valinda Velchik from South Fork. The men's closest to the pin was Todd Agner from Woodland Golf Club, and closest to the pin for the females was Katrin Burney from the Mid-Ocean Club. Dalray Rollins and his Sydney Cricket Club teammates went down by 7 wickets against St. George Cricket Club in their Kingsgrove Sports 2020 Cup match. St. George won the toss and sent Sydney to bat and restricted them to 157 for 6 in their 20 overs. Ryan Fletch was the top scorer with 55, while Rollins, for a second game in a row, could only manage 1 run. In reply, St. George would score 158 for 3 after 18.5 overs. Nicholas Stapleton was their top scorer with 56 not out, with Benjamin Magnetti the pick of the Sydney bowlers with figures of 2 overs, 1 for 8. Rollins bowled figures of 4 overs, none for 35. Bermuda School Archery League, run by David Seamus, has come to an end for term 1, and we can now report the overall winners of the first term. Logan Every won the under-12 recurve division with 671 points, while Alana Frith won the over-12 recurve division with 801 points. Jaden Masters had 787 points and won the under-12 compound division. Friesenbrook Maya Continental Building League action at the Warwick Lanes. It saw the Nifty Rollers defeat the Pinjammers 24-6. New Hope defeated the Invaders 23-7, while Spice Nicks defeated the Bermuda Pest Control 24-6. The Cubs defeated the Oddballs 18-12, and Quickie Licky Laundry defeated the Underdogs 20-10. Nathan Trott and his West Ham United under-21 teammates' Checkatrade Trophy campaign came to an end after they suffered a 4-0 defeat at the hands of Luton Town at Kenilworth Road last evening. Following the announcement of Russia being banned from the Winter Olympics, all is not over for Russian athletes, and measures are now being put in place for those who were robbed of a medal during the last Winter Olympic Games. Patrick Singleton, who is a member of the International Olympic Committee's Athletes Commission, explains.
So we believe that due process should take place, obviously. We believe that clean athletes should not be penalized. If Russian athletes can prove that they're clean, that they will be allowed to take part, but under the neutral Olympic flag. I think they'll be called, Olympic Russian athletes or something like that, but it will not be under the Russian NOC. The IOC Athletes Commission has worked hand in hand with the IOC Executive Board. We are working on medal reallocations for the athletes that were denied their medals due to the systematic doping during the Sochi Olympic Games. We hope that these medal reallocations can take place during the Pyeongchang Olympic Games, so that the athletes that were denied their medals get a chance to experience the correct medal. It will depend on the court arbitration for sport and the hearings that are taking place right now. There's a whole lot that needs to take place, and we only have about 62 days before the start of the Olympic Games in Pyeongchang. So a lot of work still to be done, but this sends a very strong message to Russia and to countries that might try to manipulate the system that we will not stand for this.
Bermuda National Athletic Association President Donna Rayner has been selected as a council member for the International Athletics Foundation for the next 4 years on behalf of the IAAF President Sebastian Coe. Rayner is quoted as saying, "This is such an honor, and I am very excited and touched to have been selected." End quote. All 3 Daly siblings were in action on day 2 of the 2017 Youth Swimming Cup in Canada, representing North York Aquatic Club. Elon Daly stood on top of the podium on 3 occasions, while Elijah Daly stood on top of the podium twice. Elon Daly won the girls' 12-year-old 100-meter backstroke gold medal, touching the wall in a personal best time of 105.10, which broke her own record of 106.39 she set back on June 24th earlier this year during the Swim Ontario Summer Festival. Elon Daly also captured the gold medal competing in the girls' 12-year-old 50-meter freestyle with a time of 26.84. Elon Daly would then take 10 seconds off the girls' 12-year-old 400-meter IM record time she set back on December 2nd, 2016 during the Youth Cup. Daly was clocked this time at 5:12.83, breaking her time of 5:23.92. Elijah Daly won the boys' 11-year-olds 100-meter backstroke gold medal, clocking a time of 1:11.76. The boys' 11-year-old 50-meter freestyle gold medal also went to Elijah Daly, who clocked a time of 29.06. Ethan Daly finished 26th, competing in the boys' 16 and over 200-meter freestyle, touching the wall in a time of 2:02.47. Daly would finish 26th, competing in the boys' 16 and over 100-meter backstroke, clocking 1:05.52. The 65th Bermuda Goodwill Tournament continued with play taking place at the Mid-Ocean Golf Club and Tuckers Point yesterday. The longest drive at Mid-Ocean Club was hit by Tracy Nash of the Mid-Ocean Club. Closest to the pin was Ian Page of Port Royal. The team low net score went to Bedrock Golf Club, who shot a 62, while the low gross team score went to Mid-Ocean Club B team. The longest drive at Tuckers Point was hit by Pat O'Brien of Beaconsfield Golf Club. The closest to the pin was Mike Hartman, also of Beaconsfield. The team low net score was accomplished by Trump National Bearcliff, while the low gross team for the day was Prestwick Golf Club. 16 goals were scored in the latest round of the Bermuda Bowl Hockey League play at the PCC Hockey Rink. The Montreal Canadiens defeated the Winnipeg Jets in the opener 4-2. Jeff Sagster scored twice for the Montreal Canadiens, who also got goals from Bill Callock and Mark James, while Matt Catch and Shane Matchat scored a goal each for the Winnipeg Jets. The Nightcaps saw 10 goals as the Vancouver Canucks used 5 goals in the second period to defeat the Edmonton Oilers 7-3. Bermuda Basketball Association announced the under-19 men's team that will participate in the Heart Lake Winter Classic Basketball Tournament in Canada. On Monday, December the 10th, Bermuda will play a friendly game against Central Peel Secondary School. The next day, the Bermuda under-19 team have a friendly game against the tournament host, Heart Lake Secondary. The tournament will take place on Wednesday and Thursday, with Bermuda guaranteed at least 3 games. The first tournament game is at 10 a.m. against Lincoln Alexander on Wednesday, and the remaining 2 games will decide on wins or losses. In mixed majors bowling league action at the Warwick Lanes, it saw the Minimax Forwarders fall 14-6 to the Untouchables. The Mix-Ups defeated the Troublemakers 17-3, while the Unpredictable defeated the Warriors 13-7. Spare Change went down 15-5 to Fight Back, and the Activators defeated the Movers and Shakers 12-8. The Dailies were all back in action on Day 3 of the 2017 Youth Swimming Cup in Canada, representing the North York Aquatic Club. All 3, Elijah, Elon, and Ethan, all broke Bermuda records on the day in their age groups. Elon Daly picked up a gold medal in the girls' 12-year-old 100-meter IM with a record-breaking time of 106.08, breaking her own record time of 107.49. The girls' 12-year-old 100-meter butterfly gold medal was also captured by Elon Daly, who recorded a time of 105.08. Elijah Daly stood atop of the podium after winning the boys' 11-12 100-meter butterfly. This after breaking his brother Ethan's record time of 108.42 when he touched the wall in a time of 108.13. The boys' 11-year-old 200-meter IM gold medal was won by Elijah Daly, who clocked a time of 2:36.42. Elijah Daly would also win the boys' 11-year-old 400-meter freestyle, touching the wall in a time of 4:56.07. Ethan Daly competed in the boys' 16 and over 100-meter IMA final, finishing 6th, clocking a time of 101.44, which broke his previous record of 102.55. Ethan Daly would also feature in the boys' 16 and over 200-meter IMA final, finishing 8th, clocking a time of 2:13.95. Nay Otterbridge and her University of Hartford indoor women's track and field teammates made their 2017-18 debut with a strong showing at the Alden Invitational hosted by Brown University. Otterbridge took to the track for the first time in the school colors, competing in the women's 1,000 meters. Otterbridge finished 5th, stopping the clock in a time of 3:18.98. Otterbridge was a member of the University of Hartford's women's B 4x400 meter relay team that finished 7th, clocking a time of 4:37. During a recent interview, CONCACAF and FIFA referee instructor Victor Stewart from Jamaica offered these words to anyone thinking of refereeing.
If you're thinking about officiating in Bermuda alone, please leave.
Right.
You should be thinking globally, regionally. Mm-hmm. I want to become a referee so that I can go out into the Caribbean, into CONCACAF, and service the game at that level, and eventually doing FIFA World Cup games at all age group. The same thing for the assessors and instructors. I want to be able to go to a Caribbean tournament, a CONCACAF tournament, and officiate there. So that is the mentality. I think one of the changes we need to make as a people in the Caribbean, in the smaller island states like Bermuda here, is a change in the mentality.
Right.
Everybody can do it. We can do it.
Right. We just think local.
We have to think globally now.
Right. Elizabeth Stewart and Steve O'Reilly competed in the Cardigan Ironman 70.3 in Colombia. O'Reilly was clocked in a time of 5:47.23, competing in the men's 50 to 54 age group category, and Stewart, competing in the female 45 to 49 age group, was clocked in an overall time of 6 hours, 28 minutes, and 15 seconds. O'Reilly was the 468th competitor to cross the line. He was the 416th male competitor, and he was 17th in his age group division division out of 85 competitors. O'Reilly was clocked at 43.48 on the swim. He would then clock 2 hours, 54 minutes and 50 seconds on the bike course before closing out with a time of 2:02.27 on the run course. Stewart was 9th out of 17 competitors in her age group. She was the 156th female to cross the line, and she finished 1,012th overall. Stewart clocked the third fastest age group swim time of 43.22. She would then cover the bike course in a time of 3 hours, 23 minutes and 17 seconds. She would close out the run course with a time of 2:12.01. Daquan Crockle was an unused substitute as his Port Vale teammates bowed out of the Senior Football Cup on kicks from the penalty mark. West Pembroke Primary School completed the Bermuda School Sports Federation Netball Double after winning the 2017 Primary School Knockout Tournament at Bernard Park yesterday. West Pembroke defeated surprise finalist Mount St. Agnes 7-3 in the final. West Pembroke had defeated Northland 7-4 in their semifinal, while MSA edged past Bermuda High School 6-5 in the other semifinal. Ashley Smolt and Lindsay Cox scored 16 points apiece to pace Roosevelt women's basketball team to a 69-60 win over Amali Smith and her Wilberforce, Ohio women's basketball teammates at the Goodman Center. Smith went 2 for 7 from the field and 1 for 1 from behind the three-point line for her 7 points on the night. Smith would also grab 4 rebounds in 22 minutes of action. Work Academy won the Bermuda School Sports Federation's Senior School Boys Volleyball title with a straight games win over MSA 21-18, 21-13. MSA made it a tough victory for Warwick in the first game, but a grueling 3-set semifinal win eventually took its toll on MSA, who ran out of steam. MSA overcame top seed Salters 1 in their semifinal on their never say die defense. Salters 1 took the first game 23-21, but MSA fought back to win the second game 21-16. MSA ran up an early lead in the third set and never looked back, winning the decider 15-10. Work Academy had little trouble defeating Salters 3 in the other semifinal, winning 21-15, 21-6. Well, there you have it.
You're pretty good.
Not that good.
You're pretty good. I just asked for something, you just do it. Folks, I know how to make this a habit.
Have a good night from the Digicel Sports Show.